I, 44-year-old male, am a widow of a previous marriage and so is my wife, 42-year-old female. She has a son, 19-year-old male, from her previous marriage, and I have a daughter, 17-year-old female as well. We dated for roughly 5 years before being married for 3 years now, and our kids have known each other since the beginning. No major fights or weirdness besides getting to know someone else as a parent/guardian. My son was a tremendous athlete in basketball, and I used to play in college at a school I'm sure none of you heard of. Regardless, I know the ins and outs of basketball, and when he asked me to coach him, I was more than happy to. Turns out that he was good, really good, Division I good. My wife is a controller and I'm a pharmacist. Together we make a very, very comfortable living but are not rich. So when my son was getting scholarship offers for basketball, I realised we could pay for my daughter's college in full and neither of them would have any student loan debt when they graduate. A plan that I shared with my daughter, which I think was a mistake to begin with. These plans changed when my son tried riding on someone else's motorcycle, with their permission but with zero training, and got badly injured in an ensuing crash. He lost part of his hand and foot, not life-threatening, but basketball ending. This happened last year, and my son has been in a deep depression that we're desperately trying to bring him out of, but he feels like his entire identity got ripped away in the blink of an eye. He's been in counselling and prescribed medication, but it has not helped thus far. Recently he confided in me that the pills he's on have unfortunate side effects with his libido, virtually zero interest, and wants to stop them. I told him the important thing is that he's with us, but he can bring that up with his doctor at his next visit. Fast forward about 2 weeks. I'm upstairs looking for something in my room and I heard my daughter talking to her friends on her phone about college. The conversation turned towards her brother and she said she can't wait to be gone. I'm tired of hearing her brother cry every day and saying his hand is gross. I knew the spirits in the house had shifted since he became injured, but I didn't think she felt this way. I was going to talk to her later about this, but then I heard him say that he can't even get it up, while laughing. At that I was furious. I stormed into her room, took her phone, laptop, car keys and TV out of her room. I told her she should be ashamed of how she's talking about her brother, and he might do something permanent if he heard her talking about him like that. When my wife got home, we talked about what happened, and while she's proud of the way I stood up for my son, she thinks it's too far to also not pay for her college, since we could easily do so. Would I be the jerk if I don't pay for my daughter's college? Edit. It is fairly unanimous that this would be too far, and I think I knew that, but I just can't calm down. Maybe I'm stunned that it was my own daughter saying it, but it's rare that I harbour something like this. Also, many comments hinting that I'm alienating or neglecting my daughter are completely unfounded. The post was about my son's condition, so I talked about my son. Maybe my daughter feels less important or neglected, I can understand that, but it is certainly not because of a lack of attention or love. I accept it though, I would be the jerk. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. My son was a tremendous athlete in basketball, and I used to play in college at a school I'm sure none of you heard of. Regardless, I know the ins and outs of basketball, and when he asked me to coach him, I was more than happy to. Turns out that he was good, really good, Division I good. Got badly injured on an ensuing crash. He lost part of his hand and foot, not life-threatening but basketball ending. But he feels like his entire identity got ripped away in the blink of an eye. Gee, I wonder how basketball became the only part of his identity. She said she can't wait to be gone. I'm tired hearing her brother cry every day and saying his hand is gross. I knew spirits in the house has shifted since he became injured, but I didn't think she felt this type of way. I was going to talk to her later about this, but then I heard him say that he can't even get it up, while laughing. Was it insensitive? Yes. Does it warrant the level of outrage you feel? No, she's tired of taking a back seat to your son, which was probably going on long before the accident, and is excited to move on to the next stage of her life. I stormed in her room, took her phone, laptop, car keys and TV out of her room. I told her she should be ashamed of how she's talking about her brother, and he might do something permanent if he heard you talking about him like that. Why would she be responsible for the choice your son would make in this hypothetical situation? Your response was way over the line. A sincere apology is warranted, but that's it. When my wife got home, we talked about what happened, and while she's proud of the way I stood up for my son, she thinks it's too far to also not pay for her college, since we could easily do so. Whipty, yay! If I don't pay for my daughter's college, you want to essentially take away a lifelong opportunity because she said something mean about your golden child. Get over yourself, you would be an idiot. Comment 2. Comment. You would be an idiot if you didn't at least help pay for schooling. Sorry for the long answer, but this one kind of struck a chord. It's very likely that your daughter is feeling jealous, left out, forgotten BC, of all the attention your son is getting. I'm not saying you should stop paying attention to him, because what he went through is terrible and I really hope he feels better. I've been in similar spots myself, and I can say that depression is not fun to deal with for anyone. I'm really glad that you're being so supportive of him. I'm not a therapist, lol, but I do have similar experience, it seems, to your daughter. I think that since you and your stepson were able to bond so well over basketball, and because it became so important, it maybe created some distance between you and your daughter. I could 100% be wrong, but I think what started as small issues snowballed. Teenagers are notoriously bad at dealing with emotions, and she probably doesn't know what to do. So yeah, you would be an idiot if you suddenly announced you wouldn't pay for her schooling. Instead, I may suggest spending more time with her and talking in a non-judgmental space. I wish the best for you and the whole fam. Comment 3. You're the idiot. So you found your dream son and your daughter had to take a back seat to your amazing new son. He's the golden boy and she's just a girl. Was what she said okay? No. Was she unkind and resentful? Yes, the fact that you want to destroy her life because she was unkind to your precious son shows her very clearly exactly who you are and how little you value her. What was she doing during all the hours you spent coaching and mentoring your shiny new son? Who was mentoring her? Who was listening to her struggles? Who was laughing and joking with her while you were bonding with your new best buddy? Even your wife values your daughter far more than you do. Why not just drop Jer off at the nearest bus station and be done? That way, she can't interfere with your precious boy. Now, for the update. It's been a crazy journey, but I wanted to share with you all the incredible strides we've made as a family since my last post. Firstly, my stepson has shown the resilience of a warrior. His recovery has been nothing short of miraculous, and while he may not be on the court, he's found a new passion in coaching younger kids. His eyes light up when he talks strategy. It's like he's still playing just through them. It warms my heart to see him channel his love for basketball into something so positive. Now, for my daughter. After the incident I shared, we had some very tough, tearful conversations. I expressed my disappointment, and to my surprise, she broke down and admitted her own fears and insecurities about our blended family and her future. It wasn't an excuse for her behavior, but it opened my eyes to her struggles. We sought family counseling, a decision that turned out to be a game changer. We've learned to communicate, really communicate, and understand each other's perspectives. My daughter and stepson are slowly rebuilding their relationship. She's been volunteering at the rehab center where my stepson was treated, and I think it's helped her grow in empathy and maturity. As for college, she's taken it upon herself to apply for scholarships and even secured a part-time job to contribute to her education costs. I've decided to support her with the rest, and I'm proud of her initiative. It's not been an easy path, but she's walking it with a sense of responsibility that she seemed to lack before. Lastly, my wife and I, we've become a stronger team through this. We've been each other's rock, and our love has been the foundation on which we're rebuilding our family. There's still a way to go, but I now look forward to the future with hope, not just for my stepson's recovery, but for us as a family, growing together in understanding and love. Thanks to everyone who offered advice when I needed it most. It truly made a difference. Now for the comments. Comment 1, not the idiot. It's heartwarming to hear about the progress your family has made. The fact that your stepson has not only recovered, but is also giving back to the community by coaching, is commendable. It shows a level of maturity and empathy that speaks volumes about his character and potentially the positive influence of his family environment. Your daughter's willingness to open up about her fears and insecurities is a brave step forward, and it's a sign of a healthy family dynamic that these issues are being addressed through counseling. It's also impressive that she's taking responsibility for her future by volunteering, applying for scholarships and working part-time. This level of drive and commitment will serve her well in life. And lastly, the solidarity and teamwork you and your wife have demonstrated in rebuilding your family is the foundation that will support all of you moving forward. This update is a testament to the power of love, communication, and hard work within a family unit. Comment 2, not the idiot. The decision to seek family counseling shows a remarkable level of commitment to ensuring everyone's emotional well-being is prioritized. It's often easy to overlook the silent struggles that children in blended families go through, and your proactive approach could be a blueprint for others in similar situations. It's admirable that as parents, you're facilitating a space where your daughter can voice her concerns. Additionally, the fact that your daughter has chosen to volunteer at a rehab center indicates a compassionate response to the family's challenges, turning personal strife into an opportunity to help others. This kind of resilience is an incredibly valuable life skill. Furthermore, your acknowledgement of the role that the advice you received played in your family's journey shows humility and a willingness to learn and grow, which are excellent values to impart to your children. Comment 3, not the idiot. The unity and strength that you and your wife are displaying in the face of the challenges that come with blending a family are truly inspiring. It's not an easy path, and the fact that you have both become a stronger team is a sign of your dedication to each other and to the family as a whole. Your story also highlights the importance of gratitude. Despite the hardships, you express a sincere appreciation for the support and advice you've received, which is a wonderful model of gratitude for your children. Another positive aspect is the stepson's involvement in coaching. This not only enriches his life, but also provides positive role models for the kids he coaches, further extending the positive impact of your family's healing process into the community. It's clear that your family is not just recovering, but thriving, and that's something to be truly proud of. Now for the next story. My sister-in-law and most of her family are upset with me because of a recent situation. My brother got married with sister-in-law at a small church by our house. My daughter's birthday was the day right after, and it was perfect because all the family was in town anyways for the wedding. My husband is a surgeon, and he loves to spoil our daughters, and I love planning parties. So I booked a really nice garden venue and made it a princess carnival theme for all the kids and adults to enjoy together. It was a beautiful event, but towards the end of it I got pulled into the bathroom where sister-in-law was upset and crying, saying a 5-year-old outshone her wedding. Then she got mad at me, saying it was disrespectful to schedule the birthday party near her wedding time and not talk to her about it. However, it's not like I can change the day my daughter's birthday falls on, and sister-in-law was invited to my daughter's birthday weeks in advance, so it's not like I dropped it on her last minute. I think it's pretty crazy she's getting jealous over a little girl, but quite a few family members on her side are saying I'm in the wrong. Am I the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. To a degree, you're the idiot here. You planned a big celebration the day after a wedding. Sure, you can't go changing what day your daughter popped out of your body, but you can change if you celebrate another weekend for it. Or if you did something a little tamer than going all out and spending from the sounds of it. Otherwise, why else would you mention your husband's job? A lot of money on a child's birthday the day after a wedding, which you sister-in-law and I'm assuming brother might not have been able to afford something lavish or as extravagant as they would have wanted to. Whilst you threw a 5-year-old a birthday party the day after and seemingly spent a lot of money on it. Yes, they might have been able to plan better their wedding and not have it on the weekend of your daughter's birthday. But it's a lot harder to plan a wedding around many people's birthdays and life events than it is to celebrate a birthday the next weekend. She had weeks of notice of a party, but she probably wasn't expecting something that was going to outshine her wedding day the day after it. People who came for the wedding as guests will obviously remember whatever is the more impressive event of a weekend, so you've also ruined those memories for her, your brother. And any time they interact with their guests and talk about the wedding, it will always be the wedding and the party. Comment 2. Honestly, I have a hard time relating to the "it's my special day and no one else can have as good a day as me" wedding stuff. I understand getting upset about a guest wearing white or not matching themes or when relatives act stupid at weddings, but some of this stuff is just crazy. I've never gotten worked up about such things myself. In this situation, her special day was over. The next day was a little girl's birthday, and she wanted a princess party. If you don't want a birthday celebration next to your wedding, don't choose the day before your niece's birthday. They, 2 adults, chose their wedding date. The child didn't choose her birth date. Were they supposed to pretend she didn't have a birthday this year? If that woman is upset, remind her that she made the schedule. Don't let it bother you for one more second. The magic of being little is short-lived. Your new sister-in-law has the rest of her life to find more things to be miserable about. You only have a short time for magical princess parties. Not the idiot. Comment 3. It might be cultural, but I never heard of a guest holding a big party the day after a wedding. It makes the wedding guests more mindful of not drinking too much or not staying up too late because they have something else to go to the day after. Saying that you warned her weeks in advance, knowing that most weddings are planned months in advance, is making light of what goes behind setting up a wedding. I have no interest in getting married myself, but I totally get how someone would get annoyed of having planned a whole butt wedding, and the day after already people are not talking about it because something better and bigger happened. Yes, it's obnoxious and childish to be jealous of a child, but I feel that it's not about the child's age and more about not letting the light shine a little around the whole wedding day for a few days. You could have pushed the birthday celebrations by a week or so. Anyway, I feel like you'll deserve a "everyone sucks" here. Now for the next story, I have a sister who is 25 years old. I will call her Tessa. I'm just going to be blunt and say I look better than her. It's due to her not taking care of herself at all. When I was staying active, she was not. I spend my money to get skincare and keeping my hair nice. She doesn't dress nicely either. She is always in sweats, even going somewhere nice. Overall, I just look better than her. She has the money to do these things, she just doesn't. Now every time I see her, she will comment something about the way I look. If I tell a story that turns out good for me, she will tell me it's because I am pretty and so on. I assume she is jealous and I have talked to her about it. Now I just passed my test to get my license for my job. I was telling the story at dinner and she told me I passed since I was pretty. Makes no sense. I had enough and told her to stop saying I have pretty privilege and that it is her fault that she looks ugly, not mine. She left the table after calling me a jerk and my family is split. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your sister seems insufferably insecure. If she won't take care of her vanity, she reaps what she sowed. Maybe give her some skincare tips like getting sleep, staying hydrated, and maybe even recommend a facial moisturizer for her. Giving her a solution to her problem might raise her self-esteem. Oh, see, this is just to say she doesn't know where to begin, rather than having the knowledge and just seethes in jealousy. If she doesn't take that advice and run with it, then that's her problem fully. She no longer has a valid reason to complain about you being more prettier than her. Family torn. Tell them you tried helping her with her health and skincare. They can't really complain then. Jealousy is hideous anyways. Edit. I just want to say that I personally don't agree with the specific insult OP used against her sister. However, OP's sister has been essentially just stating, "You're nothing without your looks," making OP's achievements less deserving of praise by saying that. It's not right to call someone ugly when you know they're insecure, but OP's clearly fed up with being reduced to just her looks and it probably just slipped out. Does it mean she's the AH though? Bro, no, never WTF. Everyone has a limit on their patience and hurtful things can slip out. Her sister does it all the time and seems to not be able to control her envy. I can guarantee you many people reading this post have called their siblings some worse stuff or vice versa, out of rage or annoyance. Anyone who hasn't, you're either a saint or you're like a second parent to them. Good job, Far. Comment 2. Dude, everyone sucks here. She was wrong for saying the only reason you passed was your looks. You were wrong for the ugly comment that doesn't dress as nicely as a personal preference that you have zero right to comment on, for a start. Maybe she actually does think relaxed clothes look better. Leave that out. You put an effort into looking a certain way, she doesn't. No effort doesn't equate to ugly. We all know the person who can roll out of bed and look gorgeous. Ugly was an inappropriate term and I'd indicative of what you really think, which earns you an AH vote too. You both seem like very petty people. Comment 3. Everyone sucks here. Pretty privilege is a real thing, but I don't see it coming into play here. She's a jerk for discrediting your accomplishments, but you're also a jerk for calling her ugly. People don't have to put tons of effort into their appearance to be treated with decency. I'm sure she's experienced discrimination before, especially if she's overweight like you imply. She was wrong here, and maybe wrong about you getting pretty privilege in other circumstances, but you're a jerk here for basically telling her any discrimination she faces for being ugly is her fault. Now for the update. You wouldn't believe the whirlwind these past 2 weeks have been. The family split deepened after that dinner fiasco. Tessa went radio silent for days, which is unlike her. Meanwhile, I kept getting passive-aggressive texts from our cousins, clearly choosing sides. I tried to keep my head down and focus on work, but the tension was like a storm cloud over every family chat. Then, out of nowhere, Tessa shows up at my door with puffy eyes and a grocery bag full of what I assumed were peace offerings. But instead of the apology I expected, she dropped a bombshell. She'd been seeing a therapist for months, dealing with self-esteem issues, and the comments on my appearance were just misdirected frustrations. But wait, it gets crazier. She confessed that her therapist suggested she might be projecting her insecurities onto me because, get this, she's been in love with my best friend Mike, who's been helping me prep for job interviews. Apparently she's been harbouring feelings for him for years, and seeing how close we were just twisted the knife deeper for her. I was floored. In a bizarre twist, Mike had just called me the day before, saying he needed to talk in person, so I'm piecing this together in real time, trying not to jump to conclusions. Tessa and I called a truce and decided to wait for Mike's visit together. Fast forward to Mike's bomb drop. He sits us down, equally clueless about Tessa's feelings, and announces he's been offered a job overseas. He'd come to ask if I thought he should take it. Tessa just breaks down and in this raw, emotionally charged moment spills everything to him. I've never seen Mike so taken aback. He took a day to process, fair enough, then came back to us with his decision. He turned down the job not solely because of Tessa, but because he realised he wanted to be near his family, and he was open to exploring what he and Tessa could have. If that wasn't dramatic enough, I received an unexpected promotion at work. No, not because of my looks, but because my boss appreciated how I handled a major project while all this personal chaos was unfolding. Tessa is now putting more energy into her well-being, and I'm helping her without any snide remarks. We're slowly rebuilding our relationship, and she's even started seeing Mike. Family dinners are still tense, but there's a cautious optimism in the air. I never imagined that confrontation would lead to such a roller coaster of revelations and changes. Life sure knows how to throw curveballs. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's commendable that Tessa is seeking help for her self-esteem issues, and her willingness to apologise and address her behaviour is a positive step forward. It takes a lot of courage to confront one's own faults and seek reconciliation. Tessa's affection for Mike is a personal matter, and it's good to hear that they are exploring their relationship respectfully and openly. Your handling of the family tension and your ability to maintain professionalism at work during such times shows strong character. Keep focusing on your own growth and allow Tessa the space to work on herself. It's also important to set healthy boundaries to ensure that past behaviours do not repeat themselves. Family dinners might be tense, but it seems like everyone is making an effort, which is a start. Open communication and patience will be key in healing these family rifts. Comment 2, not the idiot. The complexity of your family dynamics and the recent developments show a family that, despite its issues, is working through conflict. Your response to the chaos by excelling at work deserves recognition. It's not easy to compartmentalize personal issues from professional responsibilities. Tessa's confession to you about her feelings for Mike and her previous behavior indicates that she trusts you and wants to mend the relationship. It's also a testament to Mike's character that he was upfront about his job opportunity and feelings for Tessa. While he turned down a significant opportunity, it's important that he made that choice freely and wasn't pressured by either Tessa or the family. As for family dinners, the tension may be a byproduct of the changes occurring within your family's dynamics. Remember that healing takes time, and it's all right if not everything is resolved immediately. As long as there's a mutual effort to understand and support one another, there's a foundation for improvement. Comment 3. Not the idiot. It sounds like there's been a lot of growth and self-reflection within your family, particularly with Tessa. Her acknowledgement of her actions and her decision to seek therapy is a mature one. It's also important to note how you've handled the situation by not escalating tensions and by supporting Tessa's journey to better mental health. Mike's decision to stay and explore a relationship with Tessa rather than moving overseas for work shows his commitment to personal relationships over career opportunities, which is a choice that deserves respect. The cautious optimism you describe is a healthy outlook. While family dinners may still be a source of stress, it's hopeful that with time, understanding, and continued communication, those gatherings will become more harmonious. Remember, it's okay to seek support for yourself as well, as being in the midst of family conflict can be draining, even if you're not directly involved in the disputes. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.